Right now, just off Japan's coastline, 5 foreign warships are maneuvering dangerously close. A Russian surveillance vessel alongside 4 Chinese destroyers. They're not passing by quietly. They're collecting intelligence, tracking movements, and broadcasting a message. Why are they here, and what does it mean for Japan, the US, and the Pacific balance of power? Stick with me. This isn't a routine patrol, it's a high-risk chessboard on the open seas. We'll begin with the Russian ship. For several days, it has navigated around Japan's waters, first appearing in the Philippine Sea, then near the southwestern islands, and finally approaching Kyushu. This is no random cruise. Its mission is deliberate. Intercept communications, monitor naval operations, and gather valuable electronic intelligence. Tokyo reacted immediately. Japan's self-defense forces dispatched destroyers and maritime patrol aircraft to tail the ship, tracking every move. It's espionage at sea, each side watching the other. And Russia didn't act alone. Almost at the same time, 4 Chinese warships were detected near Japan's southwest islands. These weren't simple patrol boats, they were modern destroyers, equipped with missiles, advanced radar systems, and submarine hunting technology. They moved through the Miyako Strait, a key maritime choke point linking the East China Sea to the Pacific. This corridor is Beijing's preferred gateway whenever it wants to push its navy into the wider ocean. For Tokyo, the presence of 4 Chinese destroyers so close isn't routine, it's a signal. China is probing, testing, and reminding both Japan and the United States that it can operate right at their doorstep. Japan's response was immediate. The Maritime Self-Defense Force dispatched destroyers to shadow both the Chinese and Russian vessels, while P-3C Orion and P-1 Maritime Patrol planes flew constant sorties above, keeping unbroken watch. Japan's navy is formidable. With Aegis-equipped destroyers capable of intercepting ballistic missiles and ultra-quiet submarines patrolling the depths, it remains one of the most advanced maritime forces in the world. And its stance was unambiguous. We see you. We know where you are. And we're ready if you cross the line. But Tokyo isn't the only player on the board. Whenever Russian or Chinese warships get close to Japan, the United States Navy is never far behind. The U.S. 7th Fleet, headquartered in Yokosuka, is the largest forward-deployed naval force on Earth. It operates between 50 and 70 ships, 150 aircraft, and more than 27,000 personnel. That includes nuclear-powered aircraft carriers like the USS Ronald Reagan, Aegis destroyers bristling with missiles, and stealthy submarines patrolling beneath the surface. Beyond ships, America's network of bases stretches from Okinawa to Guam, allowing rapid deployment of forces. P-8 Poseidon aircraft sweep the skies, and long-range bombers stand ready to launch from Guam or even the continental United States. The signal is unmistakable. Russia and China cannot move around Japan without facing not just Japan's self-defense forces, but the full reach of the U.S. Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps. Together, they maintain a shield over the region. And it doesn't stop there. The alliance is expanding, with more nations adding their weight. Australia has become increasingly active, sending ships and aircraft to drill with Japan and the US, and preparing to operate nuclear-powered submarines under the AUKUS Pact with the US and UK Britain has returned to the Pacific as well, deploying the carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth and other warships on major missions, docking in Japanese ports. France, with Pacific territories of its own, contributes regularly with naval deployments and joint training. South Korea, though primarily focused on North Korea, also watches Chinese and Russian naval movements. Its fighters have scrambled alongside Japan's when bombers from Moscow or Beijing tested regional defenses. This expanding cooperation isn't coincidence, it's strategy. It shows Moscow and Beijing that intimidation attempts won't isolate Japan. They'll face a coalition, more ships, more aircraft, more nations working together in the Pacific than at any point since the Cold War. That's why large-scale drills like Exercise Resolute Dragon matter so much. This operation is one of the biggest military exercises ever held in Japan, bringing together tens of thousands of troops. U.S. Marines and Japanese forces rehearse everything from amphibious landings to live-fire artillery strikes to rapid island defense. One of the most eye-catching parts? Sinking exercises, where decommissioned ships are deliberately targeted with torpedoes, missiles, and bombs until they go under. It's a stark demonstration of combat power and a reminder to observers that these forces are training for war, not simply maneuvering on paper. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and don't miss the next one. Why is all this important? Because the waters around Japan aren't just local seas. They're the front line of a global power struggle. Russia, bogged down in Ukraine, wants to remind the world it still has a presence in Asia. China, with ambitions toward Taiwan, is showing it can pressure Japan at will. For Tokyo, every encounter, whether it's a Russian spy vessel or a Chinese destroyer, is a wake-up call. For Washington, the Pacific is a credibility test. If America can't defend Japan, what message does that send to Taiwan, the Philippines, and the rest of Asia? None of this is random. Moscow and Beijing are probing, testing, and waiting. Japan and its allies are countering with their own shows of force, deploying ships, aircraft, and massive drills like Resolute Dragon. This is a shadow contest at sea. No shots have been fired yet, but every patrol, every exercise, every detection is another move in a dangerous game that could shape the future of Asia. So the next time you hear about a Russian vessel off Kyushu or Chinese destroyers sailing through the Miyako Strait, remember, these aren't minor incidents. They're signs of a storm forming on the horizon. Thanks for watching. If this breakdown gave you insight, hit that like button. It really supports the channel. Subscribe for more deep dives into military strategy and global security. And let me know in the comments, what do you think Japan's next move should be? Until next time, stay informed and stay sharp.